You're watching Masters in Trading Live with Jonathan Rose.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan. Welcome to Master of the Trading Live. Today is an exciting day because we just crushed an options trade, a trade that I shared with everybody. We also had this in our advanced notice. One of my favorite biotechs of the year. We just absolutely crushed. I also had the privilege of interviewing a physician who's been trading for 25 years who joined Masters in Trading 8 months ago. John was generous enough to share his story. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go over our BMY trade that we absolutely annihilated it. And then I'm going to share John's experience with the Masters in Trading community, what's been working and what's not been working. Let's get into the screen. Super excited about today. We are going to be hearing some glockenspiels though, guys, because when we do good things, we like to celebrate without a good old glockenspiel. I got to find that darn thing though. Aha, there she is. All right, look at this. Today we closed the trade in BMY. Now, this freaking trade was so good. So if I just scan through, and again, I'm just going to scan through our Discord. BMY 320%, 118%. This is huge, 400% probably. The portfolio, boom, 50, sold the 57 halves. We had $59 of risk because we bought and sold, and we ended up taking this off for about $7 for a huge, huge, huge return. Who else do we have here? Derek here sold for 176% and 321%. And look at this, guys. The best option trade he's ever made. Love that. So congrats. Susan here makes about 500%. Very, very cool. I am thrilled for you guys. Way to go. 304%. Any more? 87%. 500% gets your own glockenspiel. Very, very cool. BMY is a name that we love. I think it's going to go much higher, but hey, when you could take off 1,000%, might as well just lock that in, right? All right. Interview John on Wednesday. John, man, I so appreciate your time. Here's what John is in the Discord. He's in Discord. He says, good morning today. 25 years. He's read every newsletter, every service, every strategy, and he was still trading water. Then John found something different. So John, physician, trading since 98. He's tried literally everything, like many of you guys. All the things that he's tried, different options, trading, technical analysis, whatever. Frustration. 8 months later, John, in his ALB trade, he risked $4,200 and made $30,000. Last 2 weeks, he shared that he risked $5,000 and made $17,000. John's learning how to trade. It worked. Oh my gosh, I didn't lose money. We're going to share the entire interview with everybody. I just want to go through this presentation. So what finally worked? Before. John was saying he was reading newsletters. He didn't want the newsletters. Give me the god darn trade. Hoping, I think this will go up. He would lose sleep over trades, treading water. After MIT, clear trade thesis. We are ahead of the crowd. When everybody's talking about silver and copper, we talked about it 6 months ago. Learn to follow the big money, trade with confidence, tools that help you trading, and then life-changing results. He says this just makes sense. The education makes sense. Hedging your bets. It just makes sense. John isn't alone. Kim shared this. Small amounts, tranching into positions. I don't do every trade. I focus on how I'm doing in the overall market and if I'm learning. Livy shared this too. She had a 2,000 to 13,000 trade in 1 hour, plus huge wins. My biggest learning today is to use the tools and help us avoid the FOMO when price levels dive. Fear of missing out, it's not real. Fear of missing out is something each of you create in your own head. FOMO is not real, okay? FOMO is my nemesis. It's not real. So my learning edge is now waiting instead of trying to catch. Wait, be patient. So what did they do? The process they went through. John, we're going to share his interview. He watched the free YouTube videos like this. He would test the trade to build confidence. He would ask questions. Kim, trade small. When we say tranche, tranche is French for piece. When we're going to buy an option, say for $1.50, that's 150 of risk. You don't want to put all your risk in at once. If you want to do $1,000 of trading and the option's $150, buy $400 worth on your first tranche. If that trade goes against you, put another tranche in. Maybe you risk another $300. Now you have $700 of your total $1,000 at risk. This is what they mean when they say tranching in. Patience, discipline, you have to paper trade. Kevin Hammer, an owl in the community. If you don't take the time to learn this way of trading, you will consistently lose money. Patience. Take your time, learn the system, paper trade. We can lose without losing any money. You need to know your risk and what trades to take and which to leave on. Again, tranche, tranche, tranche. Don't drop everything in the first trade because what happened yesterday? The market pulled back. There were all these phenomenal trades that presented yesterday, but only if you are willing to tranche. The secret? We don't make any promises like follow me, just trust me, trust me, trust me. We're not just saying I think this stock will go up. We want to prove it to you. We want to prove, hey, $3 million in premium was just bought on this name. That's why we're getting in. We never, ever, ever use technical analysis just to get into a trade. If anybody ever showed me technical analysis as the reason to get into a trade, I promise I could replicate that same pattern in 1,000 other stocks just using different time frames. Okay? Be very, very, very careful. More importantly to me, people coming to the Discord, it's a positive start to the day. The world of medicine is a grind. It really got worse with COVID and after, and this has put a positive spin on my life. Kim says, I think JR is a genius, and I feel fortunate to have this opportunity. And then Livy, ask questions. We are in a community of confidence, peace of mind, and potential life-changing results. So again, we're going to release the interview with John. What did he do though? He's doing what you're doing right now. He watched the free YouTube. He tested with one small position. Patience. It worked. Let's do it again. He joined the challenge. The challenge is the easiest way to get into our community. investorplace.com/challenge 2026. Build confidence over time. And then once you learn how to trade like we do, this will be your approach going forward. I used to lose sleep. Should I make that trade? What's going on? I don't do that anymore. FOMO is not real. It's a learning process. John's simple steps. I'll leave this here too. investorplace.com, guys, /challenge. That's the easiest way to get into our community. Earlier this week, guys, we shared this tool. Were you guys able to take advantage of this tool? February 6th, right now, if you go back to the February 2nd video, this tool down here, I call it our net liquidity tool. I gave this out to everybody free. Go back and watch that Monday and Tuesday video. This is where I shared the Fed liquidity tool. Fed liquidity tool is going to follow whether Fed is putting money into the system or whether the Fed is taking money out of the system. For the first time, we have 5 green bars. Fed is now putting money into the system. They were taking money out of the system. Go back and watch that video on Monday to get comfortable with following this tool. Why are we doing this? Well, the reason we're doing this is because Kevin Warsh is going to lead the Fed. Kevin Warsh cares about one thing. Doesn't care about inflation. He's not focused on the jobs. Kevin Warsh, throughout his entire career, focuses on the Fed's liquidity. Kevin Warsh will not have the Fed come in and save the market. Once I knew Kevin Warsh was going to get the nod, I've known him throughout the history of being in the markets. I knew that we have to build a liquidity tool. So that's exactly why I did that. And I also think it's really freaking important. That's why on Monday and Tuesday, I shared it with everybody. So please go back, grab that tool, and watch the interview with John. It's a really good one. My name is Jonathan Rose. I'm live every day the market's open, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Now what I do is I branch off, or I break off into our all access community to go over some of our live positions. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Great trade on BMY. And John, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your experience with everybody. Hey, friends. BMI was awesome. Hey, guys. What we always do is I branch off and I wait for you guys.